Getting Over It, a simple game where you have to climb up a mountain with nothing but a hammer. In 2018, this game took the internet by storm. Every YouTuber and streamer were playing it, trying to farm those sweet rage compilation clips. Now, I don't consider myself a YouTuber, but I had never played this game, so when I saw it on sale, I just knew that I had to pick up and farm some rage clips of my own. So I downloaded the game, hit go live, and this is how it went. Starting off, I had some technical issues.
Slideshow presentation.
Bro. After setting the quality lower than the Mariana Trench, I was able to start playing the game, and after struggling for a few minutes, a helpful chatter gave me some advice.
You should put your sensitivity a bit higher.
A bit higher? You think? Ignore the graphic settings, how high should we go? It's like a speedrunner thing where they just all the way through. Turns out having a higher sensitivity just makes the game more responsive, so I started to really make some progress. Until I hit my first fall. Yeah.
Oh, you just lost a lot of progress.
Thanks, man.
That's it.
I brushed it off and quickly made my way up the rocky cliffs. Stopped for a bit to learn about sexy hiking or whatever, and went on to challenge the Devil's Chimney, which honestly needs a new name. I scaled this wall, scuttled along that crane, pushed myself down, scaled this wall again, and ended up at a house, I think? I then proceeded to throw myself around for 10 whole minutes, until... No! Oh, I fell so much further than I thought I would. Honestly, I would have been more upset about this, but I wasn't making any progress. I made my way back up the mountain, having a little bit more trouble in the Devil's Chimney, but soon enough I was back at the weird house. Using my immense skill, I deliberately placed myself on the slide and lined myself up for the perfect box jump.
Not with others. It's in falling
But
short of
time
your
is an
own
illusion.
goals that you'll surpass
Twin
those who
time.
exceed theirs.
Ah, well, it could be worse. I don't know.
She smiled in defeat, with unconquerable eyes. Atticus.
Being fueled by rage, I got past the slide and onto some boxes, where I was then met by stairs? Yep, those are stairs. And I'll be completely honest, I just flung myself around this room and somehow found myself at the orange, which I failed miserably. But soon enough I was back, and this time I wasn't going to...
Our doubts are traitors, and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt.
Oh, somehow I did worse. A few minutes later we're back, and a few more minutes later we're back at the bottom. I'm starting to see why people raged at this game, but I'm not really feeling that rage yet. So here we are again, on the orange! Third time's the charm.
Water.
We did it. We did it. Now that I've made it up, I've just got to get past these rocks.
No.
Okay. Surely I won't fall even further down.
Whenever I climb, I'm followed by a dog called Ego. Friedrich Nietzsche.
I knew what I was getting myself into. Right? 30 minutes later, I got back to the oranges, and somehow quite easily made it up to the bell tower. But unfortunately messed up my pogo jump and pushed myself all the way back down to the slide. And after another 30 minutes, fatigue was getting the better of me, and I fell all the way back down to the start. Because I've been playing for a few hours. But I refuse to let my first day of playing this game end on such a sour note. I climbed my way back up to the weird house and called it a night. The beginning of day 2 had a weird feeling to it. I was starting at a point I had passed many times, but was nowhere near the furthest I had ever gotten. But I was still determined to get past the bell tower. As you can see from...
No.
Yeah, it's gonna be that type of day, isn't it? Now, I wish I could tell you that I went on to climb past the oranges and conquer the bell tower, but I didn't. I fell and fell and fell again, some small, some huge. But I stayed hopeful and kept trying, until eventually 1 hour and 30 minutes later, I got back to the tower. I slowed down, made more precise jumps, and then my stream started to break. So just trust me when I say I did it cleanly, alright? But I got past the tower and I'm glad to say I never saw it again. After restarting stream, my next challenge was to get past this rock. Seems simple enough, right? Wrong! I spent another 10 minutes trying to get over this one, until another helpful chatter told me to change my sensitivity. Are you sure I can't just pogo
Turning
myself up?
trackpad tuning on gets rid of mouse acceleration and can feel a lot better. I wouldn't
Okay.
play this game if you couldn't turn it on.
But you know, we'll just do it. Okay, yeah. Next up was the infamous anvil jump. Unfortunately, this jump was a different case, and Mr. Bennett Foddy knew that. So he sent me a present full of bats, for some reason. After another 10 minutes, I did the anvil jump, where I went on to do the snowball jumps, which I managed to beat first try. So then I went on to do the even more infamous bucket. And no matter how many times chat wanted me to take the snake, I didn't. I almost did. Accidentally, but I didn't. Sometime later, I managed to be one with the bucket and launch myself up on the ledge. But I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of fell back down. Surprisingly, on my very next attempt, I made it back up onto the ledge and I made the jump. I didn't know it at the time, but this slope was one of the final obstacles, and I almost beat it on my first try. I wasn't sure what to do, so I just started windmilling up the ice, and it was working at first. But eventually, I fell back down to the bucket. And then I failed the bucket and fell back down to the rocks. Once again, it was late and I was getting tired. I wanted to get back up to the bucket, but I couldn't, so I just ended stream and called it a night. Starting stream, I knew how close I was to beating the game, but I had zero confidence that I would beat it that day. 20 minutes in and I had made it back to the bucket, but I fell down. 10 minutes later, I was back at the bucket, but I fell down. 5 minutes later, I was back at the bucket, but I fell down. I was getting better and better, but I just hadn't fully realized it. Luckily though, my stream crashed. And in the time it took to get it running smoothly again, I was able to calm myself down for the final stretch. I slowed down, tucking into the ridges hidden under the snow, precisely launching myself up until I made it. It took a long time because I really didn't want to fall back down. Eventually though, I made it to the final structure. I see the challenge in it, but after everything I've been through for the past 3 days, it was a cakewalk.
Use your plot armor. Okay, now actually pause, I gotta go pee again.
No, we're not doing this. No, you're not peeing. I can push this, right? And just like that, I beat getting over it for the very first time, in a time of 6 hours, 22 minutes and 34 seconds. Hey. Thanks for watching to the end of this video. This was my first one, so chances are you aren't subscribed, so please consider subscribing. That's all. Peace.